Here's another week in October. I went out and hit some garage sales and stuff. Very strange weekend. Every pickup that's kind of amazing. You'll see that I had a very weird story for. Just for whatever reason, this weekend just some strange things were happening. But I didn't pick up a lot of games, but I did pick up some really good games. Some stuff that I was really looking for the collection. I picked up at least part if not all of. So very cool. But I got some regular stuff, and I got some stuff that I'll probably resell, of course. But some good stuff overall. So let me get into it. The first pickup was from an early garage sale that I went to. They had advertised PS3 games, so I went early to try to see what they had. Nothing too crazy. I paid 5 for 3 games. Um, Minecraft again, hooray! That's just a sell, and let's see here. Grand Theft Auto 5 and Dead Space 2. So just some stuff that I thought would be interesting or could sell for well. I paid 5 for the 3 of them, but the rest were really common titles. Nothing too crazy that I was willing to chuck a bunch of money at, but it was a good early sale. The next one is one of those stories. But I'll go ahead and show it first. Dragon Quest 8, Journey of the Cursed King. And this is with the kind of big box that it comes with. And then there's the manual, and it comes with Final Fantasy 12, actually, demo disc, and the game. But I had actually just recently picked up 8, disc only, so I'm happy to have picked up a full copy. But this one, on a Friday, I went out to a few sales, and when I went to, they had a bunch of electronics at the sale, and the person there, I asked them, oh, do you happen to have any games? And he was like, oh, well, I have a Nintendo with like 40 games that I bought, but I'm not going to play, so I might be interested in selling it, but I'd probably want $50 or something for it. He said that like to be kind of a high price. So I was like, if it's a Nintendo with 40 games, then I want it. So I told him, oh, well, if you bring it tomorrow, I'll definitely be interested. And he said, oh, well, I might bring it. I'm not sure. So, it was a risk, but I was like, well, I got to take that chance because any, even if it was a regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, pretty much any Nintendo console, maybe not a Nintendo Wii with 40 games, even that, $50 I would do in a second for just about any console. And it did actually occur to me later, oh, maybe he meant that he has a NES Classic or something, which that I wouldn't have done, but it was so much weirder because, as you can see, I went there the next day as they opened up. When I got there, a guy recognized me. He was like, oh, hey, there's the video game guy. And so we went to his car, and he hadn't brought it out yet. And of course, I look, and it's a PlayStation 2 with like about 40 games, PS2, PS1 games sitting in it. So, I let him know, well, this is actually a PlayStation. I turn it to the side where it says Sony PlayStation 2. He's an older guy, so, I don't feel too bad. Hopefully he didn't think I was making fun of him or something, but I tried to point out, oh, this is actually a PlayStation, not a Nintendo. Anyways, I went through the games and I saw the Dragon Quest. So unfortunately, that was the only one I really needed. The rest, there's a lot of sports games and kind of common titles. So I just picked up Dragon Quest and I said, well, I'd buy this from you. And I said, he said, how much? And I said, I'll do $5. And he took it. So, not as good as a NES slot, which would have been amazing if I had picked up. But still good, I really wanted Dragon Quest, and I'm happy to get a nice copy of it in the big box. But that was just one of many strange stories that happened. So let me go to the next. This one was also kind of a strange one because I went to a sale that's next to a church. I think it's like a house they use for the church. I had been there before and bought some random stuff, but I went again on a whim. I was like, well, maybe they have some different stuff. They had like a house that was full of stuff, and they were kind of bringing stuff out. So I went through and looked through some stuff, and then randomly I started seeing the word Dreamcast. A lot of like Dreamcast magazines, discs, and so I started digging, and I found a Dreamcast web browser, Dreamcast Web Browser 2.0 sealed. These don't actually go for anything, but I thought it was interesting. But the best one, found the Shenmue right there, and this is complete. And I realized Shenmue isn't actually like super expensive. I think it's like $20-25 game, but to me that was a really good pickup because I barely have any Dreamcast games, and Shenmue is definitely one of those must-haves, to, in my mind for a Dreamcast. So very happy to pick that up. The guy wanted 5 for the 3, so I paid him, like easily. But very cool. And it was just weird because it was a sale that I went to before. No real sign of games the last time I was there, but this time randomly a box just happened to have some Dreamcast stuff and a Shenmue. So great find, great price. So I was feeling pretty good with between the Dragon Quest and the Shenmue. I was feeling like, man, I'm finding some really key items for my collection this weekend for whatever reason. But I'll tell you, that's not all. There's a reason why this is flipped over. There's a reason, because you're gonna see it. It's just too crazy. Some other pickups. I went to a sale, had a PS4 headset. I actually just picked up one recently in the box, no dongle. This one has the dongle though. Looks to be in good condition. So I'd be surprised if it doesn't work, but they had 10 on it. I offered 5, and they took it. So that I don't know if I'll keep. Now that I have the dongle, I'll definitely try it out. But not sure if I'll keep it. Maybe. Another sale was kind of late too. They had posted about Wii and Xbox games, but they were all gone by the time I got there. But I went there later in the day. But I did pick up this. It's like the back half of a limited edition strategy guide for BioShock Infinite, but it's like a metal key, which is pretty cool. I don't think the card's in there. This is just like a styrofoam back part of the thing that would come with it when you buy it. So they had 50% off everything, and they had 50 cents on it, so I paid a quarter. Definitely worth it for a little cool little exclusive key, I thought. Very cool. Well, this one is definitely the craziest out of all of it. This PlayStation pickup. So this was actually later in the day. I was at work and I saw it posted. They said $10 on the PlayStation, and it was close to where I worked. So I checked it out before I went home. They were like open till 6, so I was like, well, okay, I'll try it. So I swung by. I realized immediately this is the sale I'd been to before. It's a very strange sale where like they had everything out in the lawn to the point where you were basically stepping over stuff to even look at stuff, and everything was just randomly around. It was very disorganized. But I went to the PlayStation, took a look at it. Very dirty, but it was in okay condition. And this one actually, I hadn't seen it before, where it has the other kind of cable, not the yellow cable for the power, but might work. But it's gross, a little gross. It had this third-party controller with it, Pelican controller, but it looks like the sticks are missing grips, and a power cable. So, I asked them, oh, do you have any other games or anything? Or anything about, and she saw this other controller. Definitely a little beat up on the side and stuff here. It looks like it has paint on it. I'm not really sure about that, but silver PS2 controller, so I grabbed that. It had 2 memory cards with it as well. So even at $10, I was kind of like iffy about it. You know what I mean? It's still a good deal, I guess, but I don't know. It might not work, and then I just wasted a bunch of money on it. But then she found a game randomly. Not sure how she found it, and she was like, "Oh, well, I do have this game for it." And when she turned it around, and I was like, "I'll take it. I'll take 10 for all of it." And she said, "Okay," but the game she pulled was Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Holy crap. Holy crap. I couldn't believe it. Saw the front and I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And it's pretty scratched up. I did test it. It does play. I skipped like a little bit during the beginning scene, so I might have to try to resurface it. But holy crap, to find that at this weird garage sale with random stuff and a dirty PlayStation, and this is the only game. Whoop, that I about dropped. This is the only game that they had. Right now, I checked, and the last for a loose copy is 60 for Tenkaichi 3. So, holy crap! And it's funny because I recently picked up Tenkaichi 2 for like $2 at a flea market, which isn't worth that much either. But to find 3, that's so crazy. I'm so happy to find that. So, as you can see there, right there, Dragon Quest, Tenkaichi 3, Shenmue. Just some amazing titles that I picked up this weekend. I'll have a few other consoles I'm going to show, but that was basically it. But amazing stuff. So here are the other pickups that I had for that weekend. This stuff was just kind of some nice little finds, but nothing too crazy. But still cool. Basically, I was going to a bunch of neighborhood garage sales, so I'd go to each of them, and I asked at most of them if they had games, and a few it got me some pickups. But nothing after that. I had already had a crazy weekend, so I wasn't too disappointed. The first sale was kind of interesting. Went up to it and found a N64. Unfortunately, no expansion pack, but it has the cables. Looks to be in okay condition. No controllers. There's also a bag with a bunch of power cables and 2 PlayStation controllers and a PlayStation power cable. So I asked about it, and they said that someone had been there already and bought the PlayStation itself and a bunch of games, and then later they found the bag with the controllers. So I asked them how much. They said $1 for the bag with the controllers and $1 for the N64. So kind of surprising that someone wouldn't pick up an N64 if they were buying games, but hey, that's good for me. I will buy it for $1. Definitely a good price for an N64. So it was actually good because I actually need some PS2 controllers. I was running out of them, so I was happy to kind of find those actually, even if I don't get games. Still good, still useful, and they're actually pretty clean. So yeah, that was that. Definitely good prices with $1. The other pickup I had was a Ask. They said, "Oh, we have Xbox 360 that we're looking to get rid of." Came with a controller, the AV plug, power, connect bar. 4 games here: Connect Sports, Zoo Tycoon, Connect Disneyland, and like a movie. I don't know if there's any worth on those, but still a pretty good pickup. I actually hadn't seen, this is the Type E. Oh, yes, E console. I actually hadn't seen one before. So yeah, I guess it's like a 4 gigabyte standard, no hard drive in it, so it doesn't have like the 250 hard drive, but it kind of looks cool. It has kind of a sleek look to it. I guess this is the last one. I had to look it up because I was like, what's the E console? What does that mean? um, I've never really. I keep getting Xbox 360s, but I haven't really decided to keep one yet. I still don't know if I will because there's just not. There's no games right now that I have for it and I can't really think of what I would get for it. So don't know if I'll keep this one or if I'll just resell it. But a pretty good pickup for $20 on an Ask. They brought it out and I looked through it and they actually asked me, how much do you want for it or how much would you pay for it? And I was like, I'd do 20, and they were fine with it. I think 20 is like kind of the default response when someone has a console with a few games. And you're just like, $20. There, okay. So, pretty cool.